So we're off on Monday. We had the first game of the 3-game set at home against the Phillies. 2-0 win. Kodai Senga, as I mentioned, really outstanding effort. And you can see, I mean, that number that I said at the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the sequence, like we just need a quality start. I think the bullpen for the most part on most nights is solid. And if you get them the lead. I still think we haven't lost a game when we're leading after the 8th. It's been like 115, 52 innings straight or something like games straight. So, just let's get the lead, give the bullpen the lead, and odds are we'll come away with the victory. So big first win, game 1. Who do we got for game 2 and game 3 on the bump? Aaron Nola versus Carlos Carrasco tomorrow night. Nola's 4-3 with a 4.59 ERA, 60 strikeouts. I feel like we usually do decent against him. And then if this is the new cookie, a fresh cookie instead of a cookie that gets chewed, spit out, we're looking at another close game. I think every game is going to be close. And then we get to face on Thursday afternoon. It's Taijuan Walker against Max Scherzer. Taijuan winning record 4-2, but he has an ERA over 5.5, 43 strikeouts. You gotta take that one. So feels like we're probably gonna take the L tomorrow with Carrasco. Although who knows, he might come out and give us another stellar performance, and we might say to ourselves, "All right, he is reborn. He has risen. He's rejuvenated." Ranger Suarez, tonight's pitcher, came in with like an ERA over 9. He lowered it to 7 because he only gave up 1 or 2 runs. But this Phillies rotation pitching staff, they give up runs. So I think we can get to them. And it's just a matter of like, can our pitchers begin to put it together and figure it out? It's like Kodai feels like he's, hitting. Maybe this is what he needs to get back into the groove. I just wish we had a little more consistency. It just feels like so up and down from start to start. Like, is this a start where Max just gets railed? I don't know. But if I had to guess, I'd say tough fought game against Aaron Nola. Probably might take the L there. But if we can pull out the series against Taijuan, that'll be nice sweet justice. Then we got the Blue Jays. We get to face another ex-Met, Chris Bassett, in that first game on Lou Gehrig Day versus the Blue Jays. He's 5-4 with 3.8 ERA, 57 strikeouts. So it looks like after maybe a rough start to the season, he's settled down and is looking pretty solid. I'm sure there's a lot of sports talk going around about, well, do you regret letting him walk? Do you think we should have brought him back? It's like, well, if you're going Senga versus Bassett straight up, Senga has the better numbers. If you're looking at Bassett versus Carrasco, yes, would love to have Bassett over Carrasco. I think a lot of people would take that. But again, it's not an unlimited budget per se. It's like he's not, Uncle Stevie's not afraid to pay. It's just like, got to be a little smart about it. And then, so Verlander's going against Bassett. And, if we're going up, down, this is an up game, right? It seems like he'll come out and give us the kind of outing that we're hoping, that we would want to get. And then we got Jose Barrios versus McGill in that second game of the 3-game set. That's Saturday at 4:10. Barrios is 5-4 with a 3.86 ERA, 62 strikeouts. McGill, though he is 5-3. His ERA is ballooned to 4.67. And that's going to be that could be a big game for McGill. I don't know that you can go 3 straight outings and get shellacked and expect to stay in the rotation. I mean, I think they tried to demonstrate as much patience as they could with David Peterson, but it's like, this is now the 3rd or 4th or even 5th straight start where he is just getting annihilated out there, and you can't have it. Of course, he goes down to AAA and he's like, going to win the minor league Cy Young, whatever the equivalent of that is. He's pitching incredible down there, but because it doesn't necessarily translate up here. So Whew. Sets the Blue Jays. I had some the preview of the Blue Jays down here somewhere. Yes. Here it is. Blue Jays are 28 and 26. They're in last place in the AL East. They're about a half game back from the next place finisher in the Red Sox, the fourth place Red Sox, and then they're 10 back of the first place Rays, who are back to being world beaters. They're offensively, they're sixth in runs per game, fourth in doubles. They're right around the league average in home runs and RBIs. They're fifth in stolen bases. They've struck out the fourth fewest times. Third highest batting average, third highest on base percentage, fourth highest OPS, third highest OPS plus, third most total bases, but they have the most runners left on base. So a similar issue to what the Mets offense has been struggling with for majority of the season, is just like leaving guys on base, stranding a lot of runners. I think Toronto does that as well. As far as the pitching staff goes, they're hovering around average in most categories. They have a sub-4 ERA, the fifth most Ks. They're tied for the second most balks. Something to think about if we get some guys on base. Can we force them into some balks? Third highest home runs per 9, but also the third highest strikeouts per 9. So, and the Mets have been hitting a lot more home runs of late. So that could be a good time to feast there. As far as the starting pitching goes, they have the second worst wins above average in the AL. The relief pitching is the fifth worst wins above average. So it sounds like, if we can hopefully avoid striking out, we might have a fighting chance. The Blue Jays have the fifth best wins above average for first base. That's due to Vlad Guerrero Jr., obviously. They're the best wins above average for third base and Matt Chapman. Second base, a wah for shortstop with Bo Bichette. Fourth best wah for left field, Dalton Varsho. Best wah for center field, and Kevin Kiermaier. Yeah. It's important to look back at some of the moves that we made and didn't make and say to yourself, are we better off or are we not? George Springer, who everyone wanted to be the Mets center fielder for the rest of time, is now in right field. So, and people were like, we need to move on from Brandon Nimmo. He's just not our center fielder. And now I'd be shocked and appalled if Brandon Nimmo doesn't win the Gold Glove this year. In addition to hitting, 306, over 300, and so pretty happy with that, right? I think we'll take Nimmo over Springer, 10 out of 10. The outfield overall is the third highest wins above average, but much like the Mets, they haven't really got a ton out of their DH or pinch hitting, although Escobar seems to be the go-to bat coming off the bench and has somewhat thrived in that role, in the part-time role. So that's the sneak peek on the Blue Jays. We are now, with this one, we're 28 and 27, one game above 500. I don't know how the Marlins did tonight, but we're probably half game back from them. Still, we're now 3.5 games ahead of the Phillies. And, for all this talk about how great the Braves are, they're 4-6 in their last 10. And they've had chances to kind of run away with this division, sort of, and they haven't really done it. So, I know it's way too early to be talking about the wild card, but we were one game back of the Giants, San Francisco Giants, for that third wild card spot before tonight's game. I don't know how San Francisco, I don't even think they started playing tonight, but probably half a game back as of right now. Again, it's just funny to talk about the wild card already. And like the Cubs are 23 and 30, Rockies are 24 and 31, the Padres are 24 and 29, tied with the Reds. Pittsburgh, who I think was 19 and something at one point, is 26 and 27 now. So it's a long season. Buckle up.